Hello all, this is Universal Group of Institutions, Bangalore. Today here we are with the top 5 bold statements, or I would rather say savage statements from our India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. He is globally admired for his razor-sharp wit, unapologetic diplomacy and his calm comebacks that dismantle hypocrisy and double standards with surgical precision. So what are his savage replies? Firstly, when he openly called out the hypocrisy of Europe and its double standards.
Now, in terms of our oil purchases, we don't send people out there saying go buy Russian oil. We send people out there saying go buy oil. Now, you buy the best oil you can in the market. So I don't think I would attach a political messaging to that. I would also...
How do you not conflate the two? I mean, I know the Indian-Russian relationship is strong, but you also have issues with China. How do you then sit back and define Indian foreign policy at this point where the West seems to be quite vociferous in trying to curtail funding for the war in Ukraine, whereas by purchasing this oil for national interest, India is being asked, are you funding this war?
So, look, I mean, I don't want to sound argumentative, but then tell me if buying Russian gas is not funding the war? I mean, why is it's only Indian money and oil coming to India which funds, but it's not gas coming to Europe which funds? I mean, look, somewhere, I mean, let's be a little even-handed out here.
Second savage reply goes when he asked Europe to stop crying and to start growing up.
You know, somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. That if it is you, it's yours. If it is me, it's ours. I think that's something, and I see, reflections of that.
Third, when he asked Pakistan to stop blaming India for its terrorism problems, it reminded Pakistan being the aborted of terrorism.
My question is, how long South Asia is going to see this terrorism and disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war, number one? And secondly, how about the UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir? Does India abide by it or not?
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism. At the end of the day, the world is not stupid, the world is not forgetful. The world does, increasingly call out countries and organizations and people who indulge in terrorism. And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. So my advice is, please clean up your act. Please try to be a good neighbor. Please try and contribute to what the rest of the world is trying to do today.
Fourth, on India's sovereignty and foreign lectures.
All speak of sovereignty and territorial integrity. All of us agree. It's a vital principle. It's the bedrock of global rules. After the Second World War, the longest standing illegal, I would say, presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India. What we saw in Kashmir. Now, we went to the UN. What was an invasion was made into a dispute. So, the attacker and the victim were put on par. Who were the culpable parties? UK, Canada, Belgium, Australia, USA. So, pardon me, I have some question marks on that whole order. Now, I can give you many more. We speak today of political interference. When the West goes out into other countries, it's apparently in pursuance of democratic freedoms. When other countries come into the West, it seems to have a very malign intention. So I think we need, if to have an order, there must be fairness. I agree with you, Dominic, we need a strong UN, but a strong UN requires a fair UN. a strong, a global order must have some, some basic consistency of standards. We have military coups to our east in Myanmar. They are no. We have them even more regularly to the west. You know where? They seem to be okay. So I think it's important to audit the working of the world for the last 8 decades and be honest about it, and to understand today that the balances, the shareholdings in the world have changed. We need a different conversation. We need, frankly, in that sense, a different order.
Fifth, when he shows a mirror to Pakistan by saying, "Don't talk peace with a gun in your other hand." Maybe, according to me, this is the most savage reply that's come from him.
If you see after 2014, when the government changed, this message has been very firm with Pakistan, which is that terrorism, if acts of terrorism are committed, there will be consequences. Now, what has happened also during this period? We have forged ahead. We have forged ahead economically, politically. Our standing in the world has gone up. I think they have, in a way, continued the old playbook. Now, for them, unfortunately, also what happened was, they were trying to extract something from Afghanistan, which was the Americans and the NATO were in Afghanistan. So Pakistan was playing a double game. It was with the Taliban and the Afghan, those opposed to the Americans, and it was also playing with. Now, every double game comes to an end. अब उनका भी वही हुआ. At some stage the Americans said, अब बहुत हो गया, we are leaving. Now, when they left, the double game could not be sustained. So whatever benefits they were getting out of the double game, that also went down. In fact, then they discovered they had a further problem, which was the very people, the very terrorism industry, which they had followed, came back to bite them. That today they are facing, the actions of people whom they promote. From their point of view, you can say old habits have continued. The opportunities of the world have, passed them by. The reputation is determined by their actions and their habits. And many things which they thought they were being very smart has actually come back to bite them. Whereas what we have done is, we have separated ourselves, we have gone up to a higher level. We are today, if you go out in the world, it's a joke, but it's not really a joke. The sense that IT for India means information technology, for Pakistan means international terrorism. So that sense today that their branding, that terrorism chap has stuck to them. Today our branding is a technology branding, and I think that is the difference.
Jaishankar's words aren't just replies, they are strategic strikes, we could say. In the noisy world, he speaks with clarity, courage, and conviction. Thank you.